Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to return to the Whiskey A Go-Go on January 25, 2018 to watch The Warning do their first show there. We saw Unmendable last time. This time we're going to look at two. We're going to look at Shattered Heart and When I'm Alone. And we'll talk in between the two, give our thoughts. The opening of the show, they were announced as The Warning, but they were also announced, well, let's see the kids have some fun or whatever. It was something like that. You know, and I wonder how he felt after they launched into Unmendable. I get the sense he didn't have high expectations until they began. Today, we shall watch a couple of songs that were on their first album, 21st Century Blood, which is the current album at this time. Unmendable was on it too. So Shattered Heart is one of those songs that few know by name, it seems like, but many have called one of their favorite songs. But we're going to start there. We saw the mic stand fail on Danny while she was singing. Hopefully that's not a problem anymore. I'm also told that there are technical issues in the show, maybe with the kit that Pow is using. We shall just see what happens as we go along. We're going to watch the whole thing, you know, over the course of a few videos. There's 7 songs, so you can expect 2 more videos after today's. So, Adrian, any thoughts ahead before we start?
I mean, it rocked. It had just a very delightful, kind of like garage type sound, but with the finesse of a supergroup. If that makes it.
Pow was going nuts back there. I mean, it was a sight to behold. They had so much energy. We saw Toluca, and we saw them play that song, and they did kind of the same thing. It's just sometimes they pull out all the stops. You know, it's Pow's animal phase. So these songs are a little bit more muted than Unmendable. But let's go ahead and see what they do with it.
Thank you very much for being here. We are The Warning. Yes! We are 3 sisters who are very, very excited to be here. And tonight we're going to be playing songs from our album called 21st Century Blood. And we hope you enjoy. Awesome. Yes! So we have a 30-minute set, so we won't be doing a lot of talking, but we'll be doing a lot of rocking. Let's do this!
I got real talent!
Be
let's stop it there for a minute. And
Wow.
thoughts on that, Adrian?
That was a great performance. Yeah, I can't stop noticing Pow. She's got a visual style that's as distinct as Keith Moon, I would say. It's very, people make references to Animal. Animal was kind of modeled after Keith Moon, I think.
She also started the song. Pow began the singing on the song, and then Danny took it over. And they did that because they didn't want to lose the time it was going to take for the tech to switch the mic over to the new stand. That's not something you see every day, especially usually most bands will just wait till you're done and then launch, but they were able to save that time. They can multitask. Allie's vocals are nice and clear here. I could hear her pretty well coming in with kind of that alto voice.
They were all pretty intense.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they wanted to prove themselves here. I mean, remember, this is the pay-to-play gig. So they're there for a reason. They've got a very serious objective. And yeah, I mean,
They did it.
Yeah. It's interesting, Danny working with her pedals there, too. I don't know if that's anxiety or if something wasn't quite set the way she wanted it. Of course, she's using an amp that is not hers, so maybe that had something to do with it. In fact, it probably did, come to think of it. She's got a Black Star cab and head back there that she's using. Now we're watching, it looks like that's Louise up there fixing something on Pow's drum kit. I can see the laptop in the back there, and it looks like she's running iTunes. And actually, I think that she did used to use iTunes before Ableton, but I thought by this time maybe they were using Ableton. Perhaps not. Can't quite recall when it came into the picture. But yeah, just fascinating stuff going on like that here. So let's keep watching here. There's a little bit going on in between songs just to take care of issues that have come up here. All right, let's go ahead and check it out.
I guess we're having a few technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks. Woo! This next song is called Ben Malone. I'm desperate for someone. I've been told I'm not enough, reaching out to find no one. Am I the only soul to have my song control? It's hard to breathe, stuck in between our words. Has become my big reaction, and there's no escape. The what's in my head, it's driving me crazy.
right. Well, looks like Louise is back to fix more of the kit. So, yeah, they were going through some issues tonight, it looks like. I mean, stuff that they've learned to overcome, but I just get the sense they were a bundle of nerves on this evening because they really wanted to make a good impression. There's a certain intensity to this. It's almost like, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, and it's classical music, but there was a conductor named Wilhelm Furtwängler who used to conduct the Berlin Symphony Orchestra during World War II. Sometimes the cities nearby were getting bombed while he's performing Beethoven symphonies, like the Ninth, pieces of music that have all this emotion in them. And there's a certain edge to the music you get when there are cities being bombed nearby and when the war is in full swing. You know, sometimes Hitler himself was sitting in the audience and he would have to perform. You know, you can't say no. That kind of thing, that kind of intensity, I kind of feel a little bit of that here, you know, like where all the cards are on the table. They can obviously do it, but maybe they've been waiting a while. Who knows? They seem like maybe they got a little psyched out. Their equipment up there wasn't quite as reliable as it has come to be now. Yeah, they're dealing with house gear. You know, it's an away game for sure. We can see that POW has her symbols, though. She had that own zone symbol. Yeah, so that was my thought. I mean, otherwise, they did a great job on it. I mean, as usual, they really killed it.
Yeah, you're right about the intensity of the show, too. There's a lot of energy in this show. You know, all that being said about malfunctions or whatever, they still pulled it off beautifully.
Yeah. It's almost like free electrons, you know, like things are, yeah, the energy is kind of bouncing around a little bit and sometimes having unexpected consequences to it. But it's all good. This is one of those shows that would have been so much fun to be at. And we've heard from some people that actually were there, and thanks for sharing your experiences. They're fun to read about. This would have been a good gig to see them, for sure. So we will continue this show in the near future, and we're just going to go two at a time from now on because it's easy and it's fun. And so why don't you give us your impressions below of this show so far? And if you haven't seen Unmendable yet, go back and see it. I'll put it in the cards. You'll have a link right there. And give your thoughts. If you have other suggestions for us, leave those below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. Don't forget, we have a second channel now where we're putting up interviews. That is to say, reviews and reactions of interviews that I look at. And there's lots of warning over there. Please go ahead and check it out if you haven't. And thanks so much for joining us today. Take care, folks.
See you all later.